Casey, thanks a million for taking your time out. Just under a week out from the big day in Croke Park now, the Nickey Rackard final. I suppose, looking back to the start, back the end of last year you took over this job, things probably weren't in a great shape. The lads had dropped into the Nickey Rackard and everything else. You put in a lot of hard work and a lot of phone calls and rallied the troops, I suppose, for want of a better way of putting it. And ultimately, I suppose Saturday was always your goal coming up, and you've got here, and it's a great position to be in now.
Yeah, we started back last November. I got a call in April, I think, that year, and I wasn't really interested. And I got another call then in October. The position hadn't been filled, so my circumstances had changed. So I said I had a chat with a couple of players, and I had see who was interested, so I went for it, and we got a good response then. A lot of phone calls made, and we got a great response. I think we've got everyone we really wanted is there. We started off with 45 players, and we had to cut that then to 35, which was a difficult job itself. And we've still 32 there now, so it's we've held on to them, and they've been great. Now the players have been a credit to the jersey, one of our goals is to win the Nickey Rackard, but we also we thought we could go well in the league and win the league. And we hadn't got a bad league campaign until the out semi-final last year against Donegal. Was a little bit of a wake-up call for us, and probably no harm that it happened in the long run.
Yeah, in the cold dry day, I suppose, I was just coming around to that. The Donegal, while it was probably a hard one to take here in that semi-final, was probably just a reminder you needed at the right time as well. A league final against Meath would have been very nice, but it just reminded you that Donegal were here and they're live contenders in this Nickey Rackard.
Yeah. We wanted to get to the league final against Meath because we performed well against Meath. It was nip and tuck for 10 minutes. They scored something like 1-5 without reply, and we got back at them again against Meath, and we were dying to get back and get crack against Meath because I don't think they were 10 points a better team than us. And we'd beaten Donegal up in Donegal in the league by 19 points or something. 2 weeks later they overturned us here, and they were a different proposition that day, and we probably were a little bit complacent that day, but that's gone out the window now. There should be no complacency next week against them. We know what Donegal can do, and the last big game we've had, they've turned us over. So simple as that. Sully, we know what's ahead of us on next Saturday.
Yeah, and just looking at your training here this morning, there's a huge intensity there. There's a bit of a game you've played. Like there's everyone putting their hand up for places. We all talk in management about wanting the headache of picking teams, but it looks like you have a right headache on your hands here at the minute.
Yeah. It's actually the one thing in when it comes to management that I don't like, and I don't think Leighton or Billy or Graham like it either. It's hard to pick the fix. Great headache, but you get no satisfaction in leaving guys out with a 15, and you definitely don't get any satisfaction in leaving guys that are working their arse off out of a 26. It's not a nice thing to do. It's part and parcel of the game and what have you, but we could put out a couple of different 15s next Saturday, and we could change the 26 around a couple of ways, and we'd be happy with whatever 26 or 15 goes out, because we know they'll all put the shoulder to the wheel. It's just not nice leaving guys out of a team or out of 26,
Yeah, and I suppose if yesterday tells us anything as well, we talk about maybe the favourites tag line on Wicklow's side a little bit. Sarah, when you see Offaly yesterday and Carlow, when you get to Croke Park, the favourites tag doesn't mean a whole lot up there.
It surely doesn't, and in my experience being there and as a manager and as a player, it's a hard place to chase a game, and our 2 Christy Ring finals we chased the game. As a player, the 2 matches I played there, we chased the game. And if you look at all the matches in Croke Park, nip and tuck matches can go anywhere, but if a team gets a 5, 6, 7 point lead, it's very, very, very hard to crawl back there. Offaly went 6-7 down. They were like that eventually they got it back. They got it back level with Carlow, but what did they take out of them to get there? It's a hard place to chase games, and I think a start is vitally important for us next week. We don't want to be chasing a game.
That's 100%, Casey. Again, thank you for taking your time out there this week. I know it's a busy one. Hope the preparations go well now for the next few days, and the very best of luck on Saturday. We'll be all up there to cheer you and the lads on.
Thanks, Emmett. Cheers.
Okay. John, thanks a million for taking a few minutes out. You're just putting the finishing touches to training there. Big week ahead, big week for Wicklow. Firstly, yeah, lads in the background here having a go. But no, a big week ahead, I suppose. Firstly, from your own point of view, to lead Wicklow out in a Nickey Rackard final must be a hugely proud moment.
Aye, absolutely. I suppose it's, you always dream of probably playing in finals and getting to Croke Park is obviously brilliant, and then to obviously have the honour to lead out, an unbelievable. This panel, I suppose, is probably the strongest I've ever been involved in. I think you only need to look down through the 26 and even the names not in the panel. It just shows you the strength and depth that's there. You often, Wicklow gets criticised probably for not having, maybe I suppose everyone committing, but I think this year, in fairness, I'd say there's not too many lads who haven't put the shoulder to the wheel, so I think we're in good fettle anyway.
Yeah, and I suppose the back end of last year, Casey came in there. The year before hadn't been great. You struggled with numbers, and everything looked a little bit disjointed. But as you said, looking at the movement there and what's going on, everyone really putting their shoulder to the wheel. Absolutely. Bit of a game there, everything, nothing being left out there. In fairness,
absolutely. I suppose there's no better man than I suppose Casey in terms of hurling terms to rally the troops any kind of year. I think he's obviously the first time he, I suppose, took over. He kind of probably took over Wicklow in a low ebb as well. I think probably Division 3B. I think, and he brought them up, 2 or 3 promotions and Christy Ring finals. So look, he's huge experience as well, and he just knows how to get lads on board. And I think lads hang on his every word. He's just that kind of character. His passion. If you could just kind of take, even a few % out of the way that man kind of has and what he's given to Wicklow hurling as well. I think you'd want to do it for him as much as anyone, yourself as well. So
yeah, and look, I suppose looking forward, this Donegal team, you've had a couple of bouts with them already. The league semi-final going against us here. Probably I just said it to Casey there earlier. It was probably, at the time, I was disappointed, but it was probably the right kick in the backside at the right time. Maybe it put everyone's feet back on the ground and the heads went down and worked hard again. But they're going to be no back number. They're a really good team. They've had their few days out up in Croke Park as well, and they'll be used to it. So there's a huge battle coming.
Absolutely, I think we know. Look, what they're about is in, as you said, the league semi-final there. Look, they came down here, and I suppose they kind of, we've had some good battles with them over the years, and they have, as you said, huge experience. They played in probably 2 or 3 Nickey Rackard finals before and stuff, and they were very unlucky probably not to win that 2B league final as well against Meath. They were well in it up to injury time, so I think we're under no illusions what's facing us. I think we have to be 100% to win it. There's no two ways about it. I think you look at the last 2 games, there's been a puck of a ball in it, so I'll be expecting no different next week. So please God, we can just get the performance and get over the line. That'll be the big thing. Yeah,
and I suppose, look, from your own point of view as well, a hugely successful run with your club. Your Leinster title this year, this would surely be the icing on the cake, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it hasn't been bad, but I suppose you're always hungry for more. I think I suppose winning breeds winning, but I think definitely, look, it would be just brilliant to get over it, because you always want, look, it's brilliant winning your club, obviously it's massive, but you want to win with your county as well. And look, for anyone in that dressing room, none of us have won a championship with the county. We've won leagues or whatever, but we want to get a kind of an All-Ireland title under our belts, and look, please God, next week goes our way.
Lovely. Look, again, thanks a million, John. I know it's a busy week. The very best of luck next Saturday. We'll all be there cheering you on, and we hope it goes our way.
Come on, thanks, Willie. Cheers. All right, come on.